Hello everyone. So in today's tutorial, we're going to look at how we can create a PowerPoint presentation using MS PowerPoint. So first of all, for doing this, you need to have MS PowerPoint installed in your system. Once you have installed your MS PowerPoint, you can click Open to open a new blank presentation. So this is how your new blank presentation will look like. So this first slide which we see is the title slide. So as per the assignment that I have given you are supposed to make a presentation of roughly around 5 to 6 slides with title slide, a few content slides, and finally a thank you slide. So the first slide which you see, which comes up when you open a new blank presentation, is your title slide. So let's enter a title over here, which is Module 4 MS PowerPoint. And I'm just going to add a subtitle. This is up to you. If you want a subtitle, then you can add it. Otherwise, you can leave it as such. I'm just adding it for now as tutorial. So this is my first slide in my presentation. Then when you go to the home ribbon, you have a section called slides where you can just click on this and enter a new slide. So a new slide is entered into the presentation that you're making, and the view towards your left shows how many slides you have, and it also roughly shows what content you have on this slide as well. So this new slide which I have added now is the content slide. So suppose I have a few content that I would like to present in this particular presentation. So let me name this slide as a content slide. And the first one is the point which I'll be discussing is how to create slides, then how to insert different items on the slide, and then how to use transitions, animations, and finally, if you want to do slideshow, how do you do that? So let us assume that these are some of the content that I would like to speak on for the presentation which I am preparing. So I've prepared a content slide. This slide is again optional because this particular slide usually gives information to the people or the audience to whom you're presenting of what you will be speaking in the next half an hour or next 1 hour or whatever is the time given to you, just to give them an overview of what you'll be going through and discussing through your presentation. Again, I can add a new slide, and now I can start with how to create new slides. The very first one was how to create slides. So the first topic is that this thing which I've entered is the heading for this slide. So each and every slide, if you are going to start on a new concept or a topic in your presentation, then you can enter your title on this particular area, which is this given specifically for entering the title of the particular slide. And with respect to this particular topic, you might have different points to speak, the different layouts, for example, and how to change a layout of a particular slide inserted. Suppose if this is the two points that I would like to discuss. So the points which I put in the form of bullet points, these are bullet points. This is the first bullet point and this is the second bullet point. The points which I put on these slides should not be whole sentences or paragraph copy pasted on your slide. That is not how your slide content should be put forth in your presentation. Your each and every bullet point that you put should have a maximum of around 6 to 7 bullet points in a given slide. The font size, you can have it such that it is clearly visible when you do a presentation, not too small and not too large. So around font size of 16, 20, these are very good for putting content over here. You can choose different fonts as well. Like for example, the selected font is Calibri over here. You can change the font from here to either, if you want Times New Roman, you can change it. If you want Cambria, you can change that as well. So there are different fonts that you have. The most commonly used are Calibri, you have Times New Roman, you have Cambria, and you have Georgia. So you can use any of these fonts. So now I'm just changing it to Georgia. And I can have 7 bullet points over here. Please do not insert any whole sentences over here or paragraphs copy pasted over here. Each and every point should be very crisp and to the point. These points are only for the reference of the presenter, the one who is presenting, in order to let him know what exactly is the next point that he has to speak on or elaborate upon in front of the audience. So the slides, unless and until if you're going to share it with your audience, you don't have to make a very detailed slide, which when the audience goes through the slide are easily understood by them. So only in those scenarios when you share your slide with your audience, you need to make a little bit detailed slide because you'll not be the in person presenting in front of them when they go through these slides. So only in that case, your slides should be a little detailed where the audience, when going through these slides, easily understand what exactly you want to convey through a given slide. Now, coming back to the different layouts that you have for slide, we were earlier just clicking on this to insert new slides over here. If you see there's a small arrow over here, if you click on that, you see that you have different layouts of slide. Title slide, title and content slide. So these are the two slides that we have seen till now. The very first slide on the presentation is the title slide. And after that, whatever slide you add becomes the title and content slide. Now there are other slides as well, like the section header, to content, comparison, title only, blank slide, content with caption, and picture with caption. So it totally depends on how do you want your slide to be, and you can use accordingly. We will make use of a couple of these other layouts just to give you an idea of how you can go ahead and use it. So here also you have the same thing, layout. Here also it gives you the different slides you have. There are multiple ways by which you can access this layouts. So this is how you create different slides, and how do you change a slide which is already inserted? We'll see on the next one. So again, we'll insert a next slide, and let us assume that we want to have a comparison slide. For example, I'll right click on this slide. I'll just select it, right click on this. So this slide is selected. Whenever I'm selecting a slide, you see that there is a red border to that, which shows that I've selected that particular slide. So here again, I will select this particular slide, right click on it, and go to layout, and then let me use to content slide. Okay. So now here, let us do some how to insert. Different items. So you see over here, there are different options which the PowerPoint gives us to insert items onto the slide as per our need. So for example, if I want to insert a picture, I can click on over here, this particular icon, and it will allow me to select any of the pictures that I would like to post over here. Insert. You see, a picture gets inserted. You can insert a picture like this, or you can also go to insert over here, and you see there is pictures as well. So here the picture which I have inserted is inserted from the picture that I have on my system. If I want something from online, there is an option over here. When I click on this online pictures, I can click on that and wait for some time till it gives me an option to search what I want. So for example, let me just type tutorial and then press enter. So you see, I get a couple of pictures coming up over here. So just let me select the first one and click on insert. So I'm not doing anything. I'm just selecting it and clicking on insert. So you see, the picture gets automatically inserted. So this is how you can insert pictures either from the options given on the slide itself, or you can go to insert and insert the pictures. Again, let's go to home and create a new slide. Now, when I create a new slide, it will create a slide very similar to this to content slide. So you see, the slide which I had, I'll just click on this, it will create a very similar slide. If I have it selected on this slide and I click new slide, it gives me the same kind of slide. So it totally depends how you want it. If you want to delete a slide, you can right click on this slide and delete slide, or you can just select the slide and press your delete button on your keyboard to delete the slide. So this is how you put your pictures. Now let us see how you can insert tables, but you can also insert, if you see pictures, online pictures, which we have seen, you can also insert videos. So if you have very small videos that in between presenting, you would like to play those videos as well, you can insert your videos as well. We are not going to see that as of now, but you can insert videos, you can insert an icon, you can also insert 3D models as well. These three we are not going to see as of now, but if you're interested, you can very well go ahead and try these out. So for tables, you'll click on this, and here it will ask you how many rows and how many columns do you want in your table. So let us just have 3 columns and 2 rows, and then click on OK. So it inserts 3 columns and 2 rows. Now, when the table is not selected, you will not have any options of making any changes to the table. You click on the table, a lot of options like table design and layout gets added. So you can select table styles, like for example, you want a colored one, you want something like this. However you want it, you can select it. It is totally up to you. How do you want your table to be? And there are different other options, the shading effects, the color that you want, the borders, whether you want borders or you do not want borders, effects. So these are some other additional things that you can do on your table. And here, if for example, you want to insert a row below, you can insert it. Insert on the left, you can do that. So it depends on what kind of functions that you want to perform on the table. You can make use of this table design and layout to do so. Okay, so you can click on the cells and you can enter information. Okay, now this was by making use of this button. You can also go to insert, and there is an option called table. You click on that, you select how much do you want, and then just select it, and you get a table over here. So this is how you can also create a table onto your presentation slides as well. Again, if you select on this, you have these two options available, table design and layout. You can change accordingly the colors that you want for your table and other minor modifications that you would like to do on your table. Now let's add one more slide. Go to insert, and there are different shapes. So you can insert charts. You can also insert smart art. So you can do it from here also and insert smart art and chart. You can also want shapes individually. You want to create a process flow diagram, which is very different from the ones which are available in smart art. For example, like these, then you can make use of these shapes as well to select individual icons or shapes to go ahead and make your process flow diagrams. So I'm just going to show on this slide one each for smart art and for chart. So I'm selecting smart art from here, and if for example I would like to create for example a cycle, let's assume, and I just click on any of these options. There are different kinds of cycle smart art graphics which are displayed over here. You can choose any one according to whichever suits you well. So I'm just selecting the first one, the basic cycle, and just clicking on insert. So you see that when you insert this smart art, again you have to type in the text which will tell what each of these circles belong to. I can type the text over here, or I can just double click over here and type the text. So for now, I'm typing it over here. A, B, okay. So let us assume there's a process A, B, C, D, E, and this is how it will go ahead. So you again, if you select on this particular smart art, you see there are smart art design and you see format. So you can change the colors if you want different colors. You can change if you're not satisfied with this particular smart art, you want some other thing, you can do that as well. And if you want the colors itself, you want it to be a little bit lighter, or you want it to have something like effect on that, you can do so by selecting over here. And in format, this is not much of use unless and until you are an expert in making presentations. For now, we will skip this. You can just go ahead and use Smart Art Designs, which is quite helpful for designing of your smart arts. The next one here over here is we're going to see how we can insert charts. Now, if you're doing any kind of analysis and you want to put different kinds of charts like bar chart, pie chart, etc., PPT allows you to do that as well. So you can insert chart and you can choose any one of the charts which are given over here, templates. The most commonly we use are column and pie chart, bar chart. So column and bar are almost the same. The orientation of those are a little bit different. So you can use column and pie chart, which are most commonly used. Let's use pie chart. And how do you want it? 3D pie, 2D pie, or any other? However you want it, you can select it and click on OK. And this is how your chart gets inserted. So I had some data onto my Excel file. So it has just taken those sales for every quarter, and it has plotted the sales for all these 4 quarters. Now this is a very blank. This is a very blank one, which just shows me in color over here, first, second, third, fourth. I need to put in a little bit description on that. I can do that using the different chart styles I have over here. Now it gives me a better picture that the first quarter is like contributing around 50%, 58% of the sales. Then we have the second quarter, then we have the third quarter 10%, and finally the fourth quarter, which is just contributing 9%. So you can use any of these chart styles to put in your sales data. You can also change the chart type from here. For example, you do not want this, you want column 1. You can do so and then click on OK. So it changes automatically. You want to add any element, for example, the axis title, what do you put on x-axis and what do you put on y-axis, or the chart title, you can all insert those from here. Okay, so just play around with the different items that you have on your PowerPoint and familiarize yourself of how you can use that to create a presentation. And then finally, let us add a last slide, which is thank you slide. So I would want the layout to change. So I'm going to layout, and I'm just going to have something called title only. And this one, I'm just going to drag it to the center and just write thank you. Okay. So you can also insert a box over here. Just forgot to show that. So here, in this particular slide, if I want to insert a text box and write thank you, so I have insert and you can go to this text box and then come here and just drag and how much ever you want big the box to be, you can drag it that much and then type anything that you want. Okay. So for example, you can do like this as well. You can insert text. You can rearrange your boxes as you like. It's not fixed. For example, you have added some picture over here and you would want your slides to your written part only to be this much and you want a picture over here, you can do so. You can rearrange your slides such that it becomes visually appealing to the audience, as well as each and every points on the slide are clearly visible for you to read and make your presentation effective. Now, once you're done with your presentation, you can go ahead and save this by file and save as. Okay. Or you can just use this button to save your presentation. Once you're done, you can then make additional modifications in the form of transitions, animations as well. Transitions help you to show how you transit from one slide to the next slide. So for example, now let me just go to slideshow. So you can access slideshow from either here and you can do from beginning or from current slide, or you can just go down over here and there is a button called slideshow which you can click and it will go to the presentation mode. So now you see my slides do not have any transition nor animation. So I'm going to add a few transitions and animations over here. Now after my first slide, now let's add a transition. So let's just give it a push. Okay. So first slide will come up with a push, or let's use the second slide, which will go with a push. Okay. Now this is a transition, that is how you want your slides to move. Please do not make use of transitions and animations and fill your presentations with these. These in professional presentations, these do not look good and you have to use it very minimally, not use it to a larger extent. Only where required, where it is suitable, just use it there. So for now, I'm just using on this content slide, transition and animation. Let's use it on this slide. So I'll go to animations and here you have an animation pane. So here it allows you to see what kind of animations you have put on a particular slide. So you click on this and you can add any of these animations. Like for example, I would like it to appear. Okay. And this one, I would like it to float in. Okay. So this is the first one, which is on click. And this is the second one. Again, when I click my mouse button or press my space bar or enter in the keyboard. Now, if you want the second one to automatically come up with the previous one, then start after previous. If you do start with previous, then when I click the mouse button, when all about analytics picture comes up, at the same time tutorial will also come up. Or you can click start after previous, which will mean that all about analytics will come up first and then tutorial will come up without me having to click it. So let's use that. And if you want to make other modifications with respect to effect options, timing, you can do that. Now I have added a few, you can say, transitions and animations to it. Let's just view the presentation. So I'll go over here, slideshow, just 1 second. First slide, slideshow. So this is my first slide. Enter. So you see the transition coming up, and then I have not put any transition, so it goes naturally. And now I have animation put on this slide. So if I click enter, you see the first picture comes up, and since the second picture is linked to the first one, when I click it, automatically the second picture also comes up. So it just depends how you want your animations to come up one after the other, or only when you want to click your mouse button, or you want two pictures to come up simultaneously at the same time. You have to just fix it accordingly on your animation pane, and you can do so. So tables, smart art, and chart. And finally, thank you. So I hope you have understood how you can create presentations. In the next class, we'll mostly see about what are the other things that you need to keep in mind when you're preparing your presentations. Okay, so thank you.